Yeah, our story is, well, it's kind of one of those, where do you start? How far do you go back as to why we've ended up here in Ireland? Been here, as I say, year and 3/4 actually. We came over to Ireland in March 2 years ago. Come on now. In March 2 years ago, and we kind of picked Ireland. I'll have to rewind and go back a bit further.
Yeah.
We went travelling for a while.
Okay.
In 2016.
Mm-hmm.
We've 5 years in all, all over the place. And one of the places we stayed for a while was France, and we really liked the rural lifestyle. We ended up spending 6 months during the winter in a little apartment out in the countryside, and it was so nice, and we thought we'd love to live here. We'd love to live in a place like this. It was really rural, everybody was so friendly, and because of Brexit and the restrictions that brought, Schengen, and what you needed to do if you wanted health cover, it was just out of the question. So we sort of said, well, where can we go instead? We'd like somewhere rural. We want to settle down now. We've done our travelling. So we started looking. We looked at Wales. We looked at places in England, and they were too expensive, really. Then we started looking at Ireland, and we thought, oh wow, the prices over here are really, really good, and we think we could actually get somewhere within our budget. So we sold up in the UK, came over to Ireland in the March, spent 6 months in tomb renting while we looked for somewhere. Found this one pretty quickly, actually. We found this one in the May, and then it took until the November before it came through. But it was because we wanted something rural, something quiet. We wanted plenty to do to keep us busy, because we spent 5 years travelling, so we were always doing something. And we wanted to keep busy, because we like being busy. So we looked for a small farm, or a property that needed doing up. This one does. We've started, but we're not finished. And we found this one, and it kind of ticked all the boxes. And we looked at quite a few houses before we saw this one, and we looked at a house just down the road, and it wasn't for us for any number of reasons. But we said to the estate agent, have you got anything else along these lines? And he said, well, I'm just about to go round to a house that I know, and it's going on the market soon. So he said, well, I'll tell you what, come and do a drive-by, and I'll give you the postcode. So we came up, we parked the car on the end of the drive, and he said he'd spoken to the person who was living here, and said, Jane says it's okay, come on in. So we walked up the drive, and we were like, wow, this is oh wow, this is just so stunning as you walk up the drive. Anyway, so we were determined to get it. We ended up with a bit of a what's the word, Howard?
Bidding war.
A bidding war, that's right. We ended up in a bidding war, but we got it.
Yeah.
And it was still within our budget, so that was okay. And that's kind of how we ended up here.
And I love, actually, you say you had a wow coming up the drive. So did I, because I'd actually driven past it, because I went to Mass Rock first, and I just love there's an honesty box, and I love that there's runner beans and chilli. So you grow everything.
Yes.
Which is brilliant. And did you grow stuff in England, or?
I have done in the past, years ago.
Yeah.
But so we knew we wanted somewhere we could settle down and have something to do, grow things. I knew I wanted a polytunnel, and this just happened to be here already.
Perfect.
And there's space for sheep, and we've had pigs, and we've got chickens, so we're,
Great, that's brilliant. And do you find that the area welcoming? Did you find
Yes.
it? You did?
Yes, very.
That's great.
Because we hardly know anybody.
No.
Yeah.
But the people we've met are extremely friendly, extremely helpful.
Yeah.
A farmer up the road. Are we both meant to speak? I don't know.
Yes, absolutely.
A farmer up the road runs anything up to 40 sheep around the house here. We were going to run our own sheep, but there's really no point.
Yeah.
And so, well, we do run a handful of our own, but the rest come from, as I say, local farm, which is fine, keeps the grass cut and you know, interaction.
We feed them, so we look after them, so we get the experience.
Yeah,
of looking
absolutely,
after
without
sheep
all the hassle. Exactly, it's like
baby.
babysitting, isn't it? You can hand them back. That's brilliant.
And we also get lamb for the freezer, so
in exchange for the use of the field.
Oh, that's brilliant. And have you much land?
There's 22 acres.
Wow.
Altogether.
Our boundary is the waterfall, in fact.
Wow.
And the piece of land across the road, so between the road and the river, at the gate up to the waterfall, that's all ours.
Wow.
So it's pretty stunning to go over there. And
4 acres over there, I think. Or 4
there's about 5 or 6 around the house.
Yeah. No, a bit more. The whole around the house, just across the road, is 14.5 acres.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then there's another 8 just the other side of the river going up the road.
Talk about living the dream. Really, isn't it? It must be almost like winning the lottery. Like, you know, it's just because
it feels like we're on holiday all the time.
That's amazing. And what did you think of the winter here? Did you find it tough?
It was fine.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is quite damp.
Yes.
But
quite. Very.
But it's fine.
It's not a problem.
What did you say about clothing?
There's no such thing as the
wrong clothing.
Wrong weather, only the wrong clothing.
Yeah, that's it. No such thing as bad weather. Just absolutely. Yeah, and you have to get used to it.
And so we just apply that, and when we go out and walk the fields, we wear lots of rainwear and boots, and it's done.
So it works well. It's and we came from a completely different lifestyle in the UK.
Yeah.
And so.
Do you miss any of that?
No.
Wow.
Not at all.
No.
In fact, by the time we came back, in fact, now I go as far as saying, even when we left in 16, it wasn't definite we'd go back to the UK.
Okay.
No.
I mean, Sue's never been to Ireland before.
Yeah.
I was over here about 92.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked at Daft and a few other sites. Done deal. Sold up, loaded the car up and drove over.
Wow.
And that was it.